nature notes. So here's a little riddle for you all. What is slimy all over, has a lovely black tint, and is found at the bottom of Lake Joanis? Well, it is the black bullhead, of course. Here at Schmeeckley Reserve, we will see the black bullhead at the bottom of Lake Joanis, preferring slow-moving waters with soft bottoms. They were not observed at other places such as Moses Creek here in the reserve. So if you would like to see this lovely fish species, please come to the lake. However, you may need to bring your flashlight for this because the adults like to hang out at night, making them nocturnal, just like many of the college students here on campus. The children, on the other hand, prefer the day. Maybe they prefer the day because they're like us as kids and they just want to stay away from the monsters that'll get them at night. In their case, this is probably a very rational assumption. Now, how do you identify this lovely fish? Look no further. I'm here to tell you all about that. One defining feature is the whiskers, or the barbels. Now, in the black bullhead, they're all black. And they also have a black tint throughout their body and a beautiful crescent moon shape on their tail. This is also the largest of the bullhead species here in Wisconsin. Other defining features of this fish are a very broad head and spiny fins. Now, one unique thing about this species of fish is it has no scales, so it would feel much different than, say, a largemouth bass. However, if you do catch this fish, I really recommend caution because those barbels can sting you, and it's even more painful than a bee sting. So just be very careful if you ever have to handle them. Now, have you ever caught a fish and it finned you, aka the sharp little spines on the back stabbed you in the hand? Now, when that happens to me, I kind of gently drop the fish in the water and shake my hand out a little bit. Now, imagine this, but a lot more intense from the babies, actually. Now, the babies have glands on their side fins, so if they were to fin you, it's extremely painful. And in a way, they're kind of like the wasps of Lake Joanis. So please avoid handling these fish unless you are a professional. Now, the poison glands are very common throughout the catfish family, which the bullhead is a part of. But don't worry, the poison is not threatening, and you can actually dab household ammonia on the sting to reduce pain, because otherwise it could last for about a week, and the swelling will not go down for a while either. So again, just avoid this altogether. Prevention is always the best. Now, if you're lucky enough this time of the year, you'll be able to see them spawning in Lake Joanis, so from May to July. Not uncommon of the fish species here in Lake Joanis. The female will use her fins to dig out a nice little hole, and they'll utilize that big head and use their snout to just dig it out a little more. And the male is not too far away either. And then once the nursery is set, they'll reproduce, and once they are finished, the male and female will actually lay side by side, just like loving parents. Aww. Once the couple thousand eggs or so is laid, the mom will watch them for a day, and the dad will take over for the next 10, and somewhere in between those 10 days, they will actually hatch, and then they're going to hang out with dad for a couple weeks until they're tough enough to be on their own, and then they'll live a nice life for about 5 to 10 years. Now, the bullhead is true to its name. It is a very bullheaded, stubborn fish. It's very tolerant of bad waters that are turbid or warm or low in oxygen. So a very hardy fish. Now, it's a special kind of stubborn organism to handle that. Now, the stubbornness does match their size. As I said, they are the largest of the bullhead species here in Wisconsin. And they're about 8 to 14 inches as an adult, weigh up to 2 pounds. And I don't know about you all, but I would not want to get stung by an animal of that size. Now, one thing that helps them survive is their diet. They're omnivores, and they are not picky eaters at all. They'll eat dead things, live things, plant matter, crustaceans, fish, whatever they can find. So, although they might be seen as a nuisance to fisher people, for example, we should thank them because they clean up the gunk at the bottom of the lake. So, next time you see them, just thank them for making Lake Joanis such a beautiful, clear lake. So thank you all for coming to Nature Notes today.